We're now joined by Cat Zingano. We'll take our first question here.
Well, Cat, first and foremost, congratulations on the win. And second off, I'll just ask you off the top, how are you feeling after that? Was it your knee again? Is that what's going on?
What?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, obviously getting your hand raised is great and a relief, and shows that your hard work pays off. So it's checking the box for doing the right thing for this. So
yeah. And can you talk to us about the injury at all? Like kind of what you're dealing with right now?
Yeah, at one point, it was on, unfortunately, there was a first knee. I thought she came up, I guess. I saw the hand come up and I didn't realize that the knee was down, so I apologize for that, my bad. But the second knee, when we were out in the middle, I caught her head, and I think just the angle of the way my knee swung off of her head, like tweaked it in some direction, and then after that it was like painful, and there was nothing left to do on my feet, I felt, at that point.
Yeah, and even with that though, you were still pretty dominant from that point out in the fight. I mean, are you happy with your performance? Like, can you just kind of talk to me about the emotions of picking up another win?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the performance. I felt like I was very dominant, and I get there a lot, and I stay there a lot, and I cause a lot of damage there, and it's a very comfortable, happy place for me, and I want to be doing more. I feel like I got some really good head kicks off on her, and at one point I watched one land, and as my foot went away, I just watched her head start dripping, and I'm like, damn, she's got a chin. Like that didn't do anything but cut her, and then I cut her again, and I cut her again, and still wasn't phasing her. She was still in the fight the whole time. So just trying something, seeing what it did, and then move to the next thing, see if I can do work there, move to the next thing, see what I can do there. And once I hurt my knee, it was just like, okay, it's top game, and just try to cut her up and see if I can get a finish from there.
Yeah, and I know obviously you have to see what's going on with you, but do you feel like with this performance, one way or another, that your next fight should be for the title?
I do. I feel like I've done a good job moving up the ranks in Bellator and getting the experience, and it's the environment is here. Me and Cyborg are here. We both been talking about each other for quite a while, so putting it together obviously makes a lot of sense.
How do you feel you match up with her? Obviously she's somebody you watched quite a bit, I'm sure, over the years.
I think we have very different styles, and different styles make awesome matchups, so I think that's cool, and I think it'll be interesting, and we're both OGs, and we both came from training in the same kind of really hard knocks environments to come up, and still figuring it out and still making it happen and be awesome. So it's cool.
And I know you guys, like you said, you've been around for so long, kind of moving in parallel like directions, but was there ever a time where you guys were almost matched up prior, like to this stretch of time?
I know when I was fighting Megan Anderson, so that card in the UFC, I was originally told I was going to be the alternate for her versus Amanda Nunes. I believe that was who was on the card. And so they told me to train and get ready for that fight, get ready for a 5-round fight in case Amanda can't fight. And instead of just having me get ready, they used me with Megan Anderson, and obviously I got an eye poke in that fight, and it didn't go through, but I was preparing for Cris for that. I was ready for the 5 rounds. I was ready for what I expected to come, and that was the closest we've gotten, but we've had that conversation I don't know how many times.
Just the injury, it seemed like you didn't really react to it until the fight was over. Did you feel it? Like, when did you feel it? And that with the deduction, like how many distractions were you dealing with on top of trying to win the fight?
I think you asked, when did I hurt my knee during the fight?
Yeah, like when did it really fire off for you? Because it didn't seem like it was bothering you until the very end.
When I kneed her, I think it was in the second round or third round. I don't know. You guys asking us questions like right after a fight is kind of crazy in my opinion. But whenever I kneed her, the one I didn't get in trouble for, when my knee connected with her head, like it just twisted my knee in some way on impact and kind of gave me I don't know, some twist, some Charlie horse, something there. And then after that, it was just, I had to be done standing. It was a little much. So then it was just figuring out on the ground.
Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win, Cat. So, Cat, just one fun question for me. So, after you got the W, do you have anything in mind for tonight?
Can you come a little closer because I can't hear you guys?
Yeah. Congrats on the win. So, just a fun question for me. So, do you have anything in mind for a celebration after you got the W today?
After the W today?
Yeah.
Celebrate. Okay.
Yeah.
One, I just want to say my little boy is here. My son Braden, and I'm so excited and proud and motivated that he was in the crowd. Like, that's my heart, so to have him here is huge. I have all my amazing corners and all my amazing people. Like, I had a great recipe. People I care about a lot are just, it's all figured out. And right after this, my birthday is on July 1st, so we're gonna go have some fun for my birthday with this W. Obviously makes it a lot sweeter when you get to celebrate lots of things. So just lining up those kinds of stuff.
Sounds good. Again, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one question from the chat. Jay, go ahead.
Hey, thanks very much. And Kat, congratulations on the win. Hope the knee heals up soon. Obviously, the focus now is going to be a potential Cyborg fight, if it can happen. She had a response to your request for independent testing. I don't know if you saw it, but she basically contrasted your record with and without USADA. And I'm just wondering what your reaction to her comments were.
I didn't see it. I was focusing on a fight this week. I don't know what she said.
She basically pointed out that your record with USADA was more losses than wins, and then kind of said, oh, and now that USADA's gone, your record's gotten better. So what is your response to that then?
Drug testing is not new to me. I've been wrestling since I was in college and working through that. Like, I think she said something about ever since 2014 is when things changed for me, but I don't know if you remember my life in 2014, and that was a really fucked up time. So, she wants to overlook those kinds of things and think that you can walk through those without problems. Like, fuck her. I figured out what I'm doing here. I haven't needed to do the things she's had to do in order to win. Like, I just work hard and have the right people and believe in myself and whatever. So, I don't know what else she's saying, but I didn't come here to fight with a sword with my mouth. I'm fighting with a sword in a fight. So, I put my focus and energy on fighting her, and that's what I'm doing here.
Fair enough. And just a quick follow-up, if it becomes a stalemate, if she says she doesn't want to do testing, is this a line in the sand for you? Is there another fight that would make sense?
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess I haven't thought about that. I just figured it would happen.
All right. Well, congrats on the win tonight. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Dylan.
Right here, Kat. Just off his question, I spoke to Arlene Blankow today. She said it would be an honor to share the cage with you. Any thoughts on that possible matchup if the championship match weren't to be made?
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. Me and Arlene have had our names in each other's ears for a while here too. I think she was the first person to send me, it's actually kind, but it was a welcome message when I signed with Bellator. And, tongue in cheek, I'm sure, but, said she'd like to welcome me to the cage. And I think we were about to fight earlier last year, but there was something about her having to quarantine for 2 weeks, and that was going to screw up her camp if she got out here. So it ended up, being something else. But yeah, she's awesome, and I have a lot of respect for her, and I know that we're all building this together, and so it'd be an honor to fight her.
What can you say about your opponent Pam's toughness out there in the cage and her character leading up to the fight and following the fight?
Her toughness just blew my mind. Like, I kicked her hard as hell in the head a bunch of times, and it did nothing. I punched her hard as hell on the ground, and I feel like it was overwhelming, but she was still in the fight. Some people, after all those hits, you can feel their soul leave their body, and they just want out. And at all times, she was fighting to stay in it and see if there was something there and whatever. And I'm honored to get in there with her. I think she's a special girl, and she's tough as nails, and that was very evident.
And I agree, it's a little weird to ask a fighter questions right after a fight, and you're still probably learning about the injury. You don't know everything there is to know about it, but if the knee was okay, do you expect to fight again this year in 2022?
My goal before this fight was to get back in there another time in 2022. Yes.
And then you've overcame a lot of adversity throughout your career. You overcame adversity again tonight with that knee injury. On one hand, the injury kind of sucks, but on the other hand, you suffered it and you made it through the fight. You got the win. So are you a little bit impressed by yourself overcoming adversity once again with this injury?
No, that's what I do. That's what you got to do is, shit happens and you got to figure out different roads to take, back roads. Sometimes straight through is not the best option. You got to figure it out in other ways. And if I've had any practice in that, I'll tell you, it's been crazy. So, figuring it out and knowing I still want to win that fight, I just got to find another way to get there. It's okay.
And of course, you just got out of a 3-round cage fight. You're probably not thinking about this, but you've shown fans and all the MMA community that you have a lot left in the tank. But have you pinpointed any time, any date, any year where you might hang up the gloves for good?
Right, what?
Have you pinpointed any date or year for retirement? Any thoughts about that in the future? No.
I'm doing it. I'm as long as it's still fun. As long as I'm still enjoying it and doing well and able to keep learning.
Thank you, man. Congrats.
All right, that concludes our time. Thank you so much, Kat.